We already know that the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra has very good battery life based on my recent battery drain test, but in order to use the battery, it first needs to be charged up. And that is why today we will be comparing its charging speed to its competitors, as well as some of the fastest charging flagships around. The S21 Ultra does come paired with a 5000 mAh battery, but unfortunately no charger in the box. So if you want that PD block, you're going to have to spend extra to get 25 watt charging, but you could always use your old one from, say, your Note 20 Ultra, also with 25 watt charging, but a smaller 4500 mAh cell. The smallest battery here, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, 3687 milliamps, and the lowest wattage charging at 20 watts, also not included in the box. The Mi 11 comes with a 55 watt charger free, but not in the box, and a 4600 mAh battery. The Mate 40 Pro 4400 mAh battery and 66 watt charger in the box. I'm super excited to see how these phones stack up against each other, especially that S21 Ultra on the left over there. This is TechNick, and without further ado, let's go. We're going to start here by checking the temps of all phones. They're not currently plugged in charge, so you can't really compare this at the current point in time. This is pretty much just room temperature. We have the percentage above each phone, below the branding of the phone, and that percentage is in relation to the time interval at the top right hand corner, since it's not in real time. After 6 minutes, we have 10% on the S21 Ultra, 9% on the Note 20 Ultra, 9% on the iPhone, 23 on the Xiaomi, and 17 on the Huawei Mate 40 Pro. Checking out those temps at the moment, we have the coolest being the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the hottest being the Mi 11. I've made sure to disable all forms of charging optimizations on all devices over here. Xiaomi is the only one that doesn't actually have it. After 10 minutes, we have 18% on the S21 Ultra, 15 on the Note 20 Ultra with a smaller battery at that. 17 beating the Note 20 Ultra is the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but it has an even smaller battery than that. One of the largest batteries here, the Mi 11, but 55 watt charging, 39% and 31% on the Mate 40 Pro. After 15 minutes, we now have 43% on the Mate 40 Pro. It is now 11% behind the Mi 11's 55 watt charging. Even though it has a smaller wattage block and a smaller battery, it's not doing quite as well as the Mi 11. 27 on the S21 Ultra, 23 on the Note 20 Ultra. After 20 minutes, we have 33 on the iPhone, 30 on the Note 20 Ultra, now catching up. 36% on the S21 Ultra, beating those two. 64% leading the pack here is the Xiaomi, and 56% on the Mate 40 Pro, with the hottest still being the Xiaomi in terms of interval and peak, reaching that 30-minute mark interval. We have 55% on the S21 Ultra, 46% on the Note 20 Ultra, 9% behind its newer brother, 51% on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is pretty impressive to say the least. 30 minutes for an iPhone, but it does have the smallest battery here. Hottest device is still the Xiaomi, but it has 85% of juice already, and 77% on the Mate 40 Pro, slowly catching up here. And the coolest so far, I'm impressed, the Note 20 Ultra, not the iPhone. After 45 minutes, we have 81% on the S21 Ultra, 68% on the Note 20 Ultra, now really starting to fall behind, even 5% behind the iPhone 12 Pro Max, 99% on the Mi 11 about to clock out, and 93% on the Mate 40 Pro. And after just 47 minutes, the Mi 11 says, cool guys, I am done with this. Though my battery doesn't last quite as long as the rest of the devices here, I can certainly charge up quicker. 47 minutes is still pretty quick charging. Its advertised time is 45 minutes. I have hit 45 minutes before, but unfortunately I left the always on display on at the start on the Xiaomi, so give or take 2 minutes over there. Pretty much 47 minutes. Still the winner of this test over here. The Mate 40 Pro is in second place here, 99% there. And then 100%, 57 minutes, 10 minutes slower than the Xiaomi with a smaller battery and a larger wattage charging block, though it didn't get quite as hot in terms of peak, but its end temp was hotter than the Xiaomi's. When you look at the actual milliamp hour per minute at the start compared to the end, the first 50% on the Xiaomi was a lot higher than the Huawei, and they were a little bit closer during the whole test, 97 for the Xiaomi and 77 for the Huawei. After 1 hour and 9 minutes at the bottom over there on the always on display of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, it places third here with 1 hour and 9 minutes. That's pretty good battery charging time considering it has such a large 5000 mAh battery here, 72.5 mAh per minute compared to the Huawei, so just 5 behind that, but it's because it has a much bigger battery than the Huawei. That's why its milliamp per minute rate is almost on par with it. The Note 20 Ultra with a smaller battery knocks out at 1 hour and 18 minutes, so 9 minutes slower than the S21 Ultra. Even though it has a smaller battery and the same charging wattage, the Samsung is doing some great stuff over here. With the S21 Ultra, I just wish the charging was a little bit faster, though we can't complain considering the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the only one not juiced up at the current moment, and it's been 1 hour and 30 minutes and it is still on 97%. It really slows down with this last 5%, even if charging optimizations is off, and I did make sure it's been off this entire test test, I always check. I get a bit paranoid about it because it just decides to automatically turn on. But I made sure it was off the whole test, and it did finish off here in 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is okay for iPhone standards, I guess you could say, not compared to the rest of the devices over here. It did a pretty decent job. The best time I've gotten for it is 1 hour and 39 minutes, but its last 5% hit 7.4 milliamp hour per minute reading, which is ridiculous considering it got 35.1 milliamp hour per minute throughout the entire test. Fifth place, here the iPhone 12 Pro Max 20 watt charging, 3687 milliamp hour battery, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Very slow charging. Come on, iPhone. What are you doing here? What are you doing, Apple? Fourth place, Note 20 Ultra. Not that much better though. 1 hour and 18 minutes, 25 watt charging, but a much bigger battery than the iPhone at 4,500 milliamps. Third place, another Samsung over here, the brand new S21 Ultra. 9 minutes quicker charging than the Note 20 Ultra and a much bigger battery at 5,000 milliamps. Same charging of 25 watts. Pretty impressed with it, I guess you could say. Second place here, the Huawei Mate 40 Pro, 57 minutes. I've gotten a result of 49 minutes before, so I'm not quite sure what happened this time around. 66 watt charging, 4,400 milliamp hour battery. The king of this test, not of all charging speed tests, the Mi 11, 47 minutes is still great. I've gotten 45 minutes before. That is the advertised time. Still pretty on par. 55 watt charging, 4,600 milliamp hour battery. The S21 Ultra didn't do too bad considering its predecessor charged at 45 watts, well, could charge at 45 watts and sat around about an hour, but it was said that the 45 watt block and the 25 watt block only had like a 2 or 3 minute difference between them, so I usually got between 1 hour and 1 hour and 15 minutes on the S20 Ultra, so it's pretty decent over here. With the iPhone, the milliamp hour per minute reading in its first 50% was 61.5 as opposed to 35 during the whole test, where the others were a lot higher than that. Next up from that is the Samsung with 70 milliamp hours per minute in its first 32 minutes where it reached 50%, 57.7 milliamp hours in its total time. Samsung not too bad with 72 on the S21 Ultra, then the Huawei with 77 and 97 on the Mi 11. My biggest gripe here is the iPhone with its last 5% hitting only 7.4 milliamp hour per minute, even though its charging optimizations were off. And if we take a look at the temperature, you can tell why. The iPhone ended at 23.3 degrees in Celsius, a lot cooler than the rest of them here. The next coolest is the S21 Ultra at 28.9 degrees Celsius. The hottest end temp was the Huawei with 36. The hottest peak was the Xiaomi with almost 50 degrees in Celsius, but it still can't match how hot it gets during a battery drain test. Wink, wink. And the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra had the lowest peak here, which is actually pretty impressive. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. A sub to the channel would be epic. This is TechNick, and I'll see you in the next one.